The aesthete is an individual of deep personal sentiment with particular personal taste, especially when it comes to personal interactions between them and other humans and what their senses perceive. Keep watching if you want to know more about the purpose of the aesthete, which describes the personality type's most natural and strongest functioning. Also, this video mentions a couple of signs that can show whether someone with this personality type uses their natural strengths and their purpose from a light or dark perspective. Welcome to Typevolution. I am Olympia and the creator of this channel and this personality type description. This video gives you an overview of a personality type that has been inspired by descriptions of Jungian personality type theory, notably MBTI and Socionics. However, my personality type description focuses on the personality's purpose in our world, which impacts how they will feel most fulfilled as long as they follow who they truly are, rather than trying to be like other personality types. Before we continue further, I would like you to know certain definitions. So one important word is obviously aesthetic, the philosophical theory or set of principles governing the idea of beauty at a given time and place. Then also a particular individual set of ideas about style and taste along with its expression.
The proportions were not exactly right, but it was pretty good. Pretty good. I love the idea of it and I love everything, but right where it goes to the crotch, it's just not right. My style was pretty much what I was feeling at the moment, no matter what anybody else was doing.
One set of principles or worldview as expressed through outward appearance, behavior, or actions.
Cottagecore isn't just an aesthetic, it's an ethos, one embodying wholesome isolation, creative crafting, love of nature, and nostalgia for an idealized version of the past.
Thatch roof cottages, herb and flower gardens, reading poetry.
The trend subtly encourages a reassessment of modern values. Like past movements where people flock to the country in droves to slow down from an increasingly fast-paced life, cottagecore speaks to a growing rejection of hustle culture and the performative workaholism that peaked in the 2010s.
Another word that is important to know is taste. In sociology, taste is an individual or demographic group's subjective preferences of dietary, design, cultural, and/or aesthetic patterns. Taste manifests socially via distinctions in consumer choices such as delicacies, beverages, fashions, music, etiquettes, goods, styles of artwork, and other related cultural activities. The social inquiry of taste is about the arbitrary human ability to judge what is considered beautiful, good, proper, and valuable.
This is one of my favorite books. I always try to have a book on me. This one in particular is amazing. This is Raymond Carver's short stories, what we talk about when we talk about love. This one's particularly beautiful because it digs into all those gray areas of life and love. He's able to put things into words that we all feel, but it's really hard to articulate it sometimes.
An aesthete's subjective taste implies that the aesthetic or values can be unappealing to the masses or unconventional because they are subjective. So now we go to the purpose of the aesthete, the overall purpose or purpose role. I often call the purpose of the personality the purpose role because it is a social role that the personality in some way plays, but it's not so much playing it, it's being it. The personality types, they all have a purpose, they all have a social role that they should play or fulfill in order to be in their own purpose. It's both a personal and societal obligation, you could say, but it's not just an obligation, it is something that will fulfill you and make your life more fulfilling for both you and other people. I've talked more about this in some of my other videos. So what is the purpose role of the aesthete? This is closely tied to what the aesthete is about and what they are good at. So the aesthete will be in their natural element when they shape either their own lifestyle, the human world, their own bodies, or other objects according to their own personal taste or aesthetics/ethics, thereby creating a sensorial appealing aesthetic and or actively improving interpersonal and social relations in the real world.
I actually made a video recently about Kesha. Posted that last week, not even knowing that there'd be major updates to her situation. I just talked about some unsealed court documents that show Kesha, was telling people around her, her entire team, about the crap that she was going through with this disgusting man. Even though you guys may not smell my breath, I definitely always brush my teeth before I speak to you because I want to make sure that I'm fresh and clean and ready for camera. Get into it. We need this light on. We need this light on. Mario Lopez may have been able to charm himself through Hollywood.
I also want to add that there will be people of other personality types who follow or attempt to follow the aesthete purpose. They might attempt to perhaps do a career or do a lifestyle or just act as if they were this kind of personality type, and there's different reasons for that. That's probably for another video. But basically, just because someone attempts to act this way does not mean that it's their purpose and does not mean that they are naturally good at this. They will probably not be as good at this as a natural aesthete. Alternatively, if they are as good as the aesthete at those strengths, they won't be fulfilled by those. That's the thing. Only the aesthete personality type will be both good at these light side traits and fulfilled by them if they apply them in their purpose role. Here are the signs that the person is on their purpose as an aesthete. So when you are on the light side, you will fulfill your purpose in the most mutually beneficial ways. So here's an overview. One aspect is this one. Morally conscious and morally conscientious. Living a life suited to their personal ideals and standards. Naturally aware of and understanding of others in their own internal feelings, attitudes, and moral standards, values. Creating and upholding beneficial standards and values that transcend time and improve interpersonal relations. Honoring the individuality and authenticity of themselves and others from a self-loving or loving perspective. Number 2. Energetically pushes others and or themselves to take action to meet a worthy and challenging target or goal. Easily withstands external pressure in the face of an attack, thereby protecting something valuable. Embodying life force. Increasing others' energetic livelihood and vitality. Scans the environment and objects for the benefit of all. Ensures movement in others and themselves, limits stagnation. Actively shapes bodies or other matters, significantly improving their and others' strength, endurance, and or external aesthetics to a higher level. And this is the third sign. Boosts and exalts health and or physical relaxation of themselves and others. Restores the internal states and flows of people and or things to a higher level. Keen awareness and establishment of what is pleasing to the senses, whilst regulating sensorial overload. Spots and eliminates excessive discomfort, harm, or physical imbalance. Sophisticated gut feeling. Physically grounded within. Unified and calibrated organism with a deep perception of the movements of inner beings' nervous systems. Able to sustain necessary routines and repetitive tasks as needed.
How do you personally, as Zendaya, champion diversity?
I think it's important to walk the walk as much as you talk the talk. When you have an opportunity to give others opportunities and open doors for others, I think that's what I feel like I'm meant to do.
Zendaya was very hands-on with the collection, sketching, picking all the fabrics and colors, and fitting all the clothes on herself.
There's actually like this super fluffy, where is it? It's a super fluffy
There it is.
What is it? Oh,
But they have it in a coat, and I've literally been wearing it all morning. I feel so dramatic when I wear it, but it's
Like a little
feels right.
extra?
Yeah, but I love it.
Is this what you're wearing?
It is my coat.
Yeah, it's the
Oh
same
my
thing.
gosh.
I love a good coat. You know what I mean? Like that's also really nice. Is it can be dressed up, dressed down. You know, throw it on.
Now here are the signs that the individual who is an aesthete is abusing their natural powers and going to the dark side. So they might still sort of follow the purpose of their personality, but in the most destructive ways possible. So it's basically the flip side of the signs I just told you. So the first sign, overly self-righteous, unforgiving, harboring overly negative or positive personal feelings for someone based on prejudice, obsessed with personal revenge, an eye for an eye, treats someone solely based on how much they personally like or dislike them, unable to separate their personal feelings from reality, rejects anything that contradicts their own feelings, gets lost in musings over their own feelings, bases their sense of personal identity entirely on their own feelings, takes everything personally, deep hatred of others or deep self-hatred. Now the second point, the second sign. Initiates physical altercations or verbal fights to gain power over the other person. Bullying. Destroys or tortures others, physically or figuratively. Corporal punishment. Continuously and deliberately oversteps personal boundaries or invades personal space. Believes themselves to be omnipotent. Impatiently jumps into unwise pursuits and opportunities, disregarding negative consequences. Excessive physical restlessness. Gets lost in chasing after the next thing or the next kick, like a dog chasing a car. Wallowing in a feeling of meaninglessness. Overly materialistic and or shopaholic. Style over substance, especially when it comes to appearances or image. Excessive plastic surgery for aesthetic purposes. And here's the third sign. Obsessed with administering and or using an excessive amount of pharmaceuticals and or other drugs as personal medicine, even if harmful. Physical hypersensitivity. Overly aware of every physical ache and pain. Psychosomatic to a fault. Creature of habit. Stuck in a grueling routine. Unable to entertain or follow novel ways of behavior. Overly attached to familiar objects, tokens, smells, etc. Excessive and depressive nostalgia, related to personal experience and memory. Infantilizes others, treats them like big babies that cannot function without their care. Of course, this is not an exhaustive list of light and dark side traits of this personality type. If the dark side traits I just mentioned sound very familiar to you, there is a high chance that you could be the aesthete personality type and you are currently on your dark side. For that, I offer coaching or my one-on-one program where we go into what your personality is and then also how you basically can embrace your personality and get the most out of it so that all the traits I mentioned in the dark side can be transformed into the light side traits. They are two sides of the same coin, and I have accomplished this with aesthete clients already. So if you're interested in that, check out the link in the description and go to services, and there you read my one-on-one program overview and fill out the form you find at the end of the page. And then we will see if you're a good fit for the program. Ultimately, part of what makes us feel fulfilled as human beings is following our purpose in this world. And once you know what your purpose type or personality type is, then you are able to modify your lifestyle and your overall contributions to this world to suit your personality. And if you need more help with that, feel free to reach out to me and be part of my program. And also please like and share this video if you enjoyed it and if you found it valuable in order to spread the word. Okay, see you in the next one. Bye!